Now, the situation in Kirkwood in the Eastern Cape remains tense after overnight violence erupted in that town. The protesters turned their attention to some of the citrus farms in the area overnight, torching at least one orchard store, a number of tractors, even attempting to set a citrus orchard alight.
A large police contingent remains on the ground, and farmers have turned to private security to safeguard their properties. The meeting between farm owners, the MEC and community leaders has just ended. And of course, our reporter Iviwe Poti is on the ground in Kirkwood. Francis.
Let's cross to her. Iviwe Poti standing by. Iviwe, tell us what the situation is right now.
Francis, the situation right now is not as tense as what it was earlier on during the day and from last night and in the morning. Community leaders have gone in the separate areas just to speak to communities, giving them an update in terms of what came out of that meeting with the MEC as well as the farm owners. However, there is still a police contingent out on the streets just to ensure that everything does remain calm, and majority of the community leaders that have gone into those communities haven't come out yet in terms of giving a result or feedback to the remainder of the community leaders. But with me right now, I have Putusia Bonga, 7, who's going to speak to us a bit more. We understand that you were in the negotiations with the MEC and the farm owners. You are part of SAMU, but however, as community leaders, you guys were there to represent this community, as well as Sanko and a lot of the community leaders at large. Tell us what came out of that long meeting that started at 1 o'clock today.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start by saying for us as SAMU, we're there to give solidarity, also to make sure that the negotiations are speedily, so that we do get to the bottom of this wage demand.
And what are the farm owners saying to the 20 rand that has been put on the table by the workers?
We must say that they've been talking about the 18 rand, saying that they are already giving farm workers a lot. But what we are saying is that in fact, the workers demanded 20 rands, and we negotiated. It was a bit tense, but we managed to get into some sort of an agreement, resolving that by tomorrow morning we'll be meeting with them, because there were 3 other farm owners that were not present in terms of the negotiations. But they've promised that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock they'll be giving us feedback, and then at the same time, in fact, after the meeting at 11 o'clock, we'll be going to address the workers.
Is it safe to say that majority of the farm owners in this area have agreed to the 20 rand on the table?
Yes, it is safe to say that, because as one of the people that was inside the negotiations, we're saying that, they are not that much hostile in terms of giving in to the demands of the workers.
And then lastly, obviously today we understand and we've seen how volatile the situation has been. 1 person injured from what we know on our side. A number of arrests have been made. What is the feedback from inside the community? Because as journalists, we haven't been able to go inside.
Yes, after we came back, we went to give feedback to the workers. But I must say that they are not happy, because there are other 3 comrades that are still detained by the police. Moreover, we are still negotiating on that matter. But the police have managed to give us, in fact, a positive response to say that they will release them by tonight. So as we are standing here, we'll go back and negotiate with the police so that we take the comrades back to the society, and all of those people that are still waiting for them to be released.
All right then. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, there we have it, Francis. In terms of what will happen going forward, they are still going to go into further negotiations to ensure that the workers are happy in this area. And Francis, if I may just allude to the fact that it's not only the 20 rand an hour that farm workers are complaining about, they're also complaining about working conditions, as well as in terms of what they get once they do retire, and also how easy it is for them to be fired from these farms and the living situations that they find themselves in. But for now, it's back to you guys in studio.
Thank you very much, Iviwe Poti, coming to us from the Eastern Cape. And an interesting development. Remember, the minimum wage about to come in would make it mandatory to pay 20 Rand an hour. But agriculture, that sector, along with the domestic help sector, is actually excluded for a number of years to introduce that minimum wage. So it is still determining the expectations of the workers, even though those farmers are not legally obliged to pay that wage yet. We'll follow that situation in Kirkwood. Now, angry residents from Berkeley West